Cindy has been asking for how to use those punches. And I know that Sue has been using those punches so often. Okay, so let's go with the paintbrush. And I'm going to select some of those corner punches. Because in reality, the corner punches are just brushes. So let's say I'm taking this. This is what says an edge. Okay, let's go for the Halloween ones. Okay. Let's see, I have this Halloween punch. You can see I can use this punch as a brush, in which case I can just punch and it does print just like any other brush. Okay. And I could do that on a separate layer. If, for example, I'd say, oh, I want to duplicate this, right click, duplicate, and I want to mirror that because I want something on the other side. It's just easier than if it's all on one. So this is just like a brush, like any brush, like the round brush or square brush, very simple. But what you can also do is, I'm just going to open a blank image. And I will flood fill this with white. Well, that's not white. And I'm going to add a new layer on top and I'm going to have blue. So you can see there's blue. I'm going to move it actually to see. Okay. So those corner punches can be used just like a brush, but they can also be used like an eraser. And in which case it will cut it out, which is the idea of the punch. So I have to load and I'll go here, Halloween. Okay, this one. Okay, so now what I do is that I will cut. So it doesn't matter what color is in my materials palette. I will go around and see the edge, the corner. Once I click, I have cut my blue paper out. So now I can move it around. I can do that on a photo also. For example, this one being a background, I have to promote it. But I could use my eraser tool, still using the same corner. And well, this photo is very large, so I'm going to zoom in and I can increase the size if I want. And I would go onto my photo and I would cut my photo out. So it's interesting because you can use any kind of papers, pattern papers, textured papers that you get from a kit, and you can punch out corners like that. And there are some, those are fancy, they're themed. This one's for Halloween. There are some for all kinds of theme. Some are just basic. For example, this one, kind of fun. So instead of corner for Halloween, you can just have something like this, which looks also very interesting. So imagine doing that manually. That'd be hard. And also one thing that you can do is if you happen to have a cutting machine, well, you can save this as a PNG and you can get your machine to cut out edges. So we have the corners that work like that, but there are some that are edges. If I go to the Halloween, I think there are some here that are straight. So this one will cut on top, and I can go a little further and do the same, and I can have the whole edge of my page. Do something like that. I can change the size also. Let's just go back to in the center, and if my punch is smaller, let's say I make it 200 pixels with the step of 100, and sometimes I kind of like to go down just to make sure. I can click, now hold the shift key and click, and I have a whole series of punches on the edges. Okay, so I hope that helps, Cindy. That's how you use those punches. They're made to cut out. So instead of printing, you punch and you cut out. Hey there! I hope you found this information helpful. If you're curious to dive deeper and explore more about PaintShop Pro, we've got a wealth of resources waiting for you in our membership area. There, you'll find in-depth classes, workshops, Q&A sessions, and much more to help you enhance your PaintShop Pro and digital scrapbooking skills. Feel free to check it out. The link is in the video description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the campus!